Nearly 40,000 streams. That's where my most popular song sits on Spotify today. But the way it was born, it's not really just a story. It's one of the strangest, most unexpected chapters in my life. Vegas in 2020, the strip was totally silent and the casinos were basically empty. It's like a city of neon and noise and chaos, but it was frozen and quiet. And there I was, a restaurant consultant on a 2-month assignment there, 1,150 miles away from home, locked in a hotel room with nothing but my laptop, a thumb drive full of drum loops, and restless energy that just wouldn't quit. I had no idea that out of that isolation, I was about to write a song that would shape my start as an indie musician and a rookie producer. And today, I want to take you right inside that story. Hey, I'm Kevin, the founder of Innovaniac Music, and on this channel, I can share everything that I've learned about songwriting, production, and building a creative life. If this story sparks something in you, hit that like button so YouTube shows more indie artists what kind of things are possible. Now, when my company told me that I was going to be spending 2 months in Vegas, I didn't know if I needed to laugh or panic about it. A road trip in the middle of a pandemic? 2 months stuck in a hotel room while the outside world was kind of shut down? The casinos were ghost towns, and I heard that visitor spending there was down something like more than 50% compared to prior years. There was no shows, no crowds, no distractions. And I realized quickly that if I didn't find something meaningful to do after work every day, I was literally going to lose my marbles. So, before I left Seattle, I made one fateful decision. I loaded a thumb drive with 30 or 40 drum stems that I had recorded. My plan? I thought I'd use that downtime to sharpen my music production skills. And when I landed, I had a laptop with my DAW, a tiny synth, and an audio interface. And I'm going to say also a determination to turn a bland hotel room into my own personal music studio. Day one in Vegas, I hopped on Craigslist and I hunted down a cheap guitar, a bass, and a condenser mic. The guitar was nothing special. The mic, it was really, really bad. But the bass, that bass. It was heavy, it was ugly, it was fretless. But the moment I plucked the strings, it had a sound that just felt alive and funky and just full of character in every way. So I recorded by plugging my audio box directly into my laptop. That way, the guitars hardly made any noise or sound outside of my headphones. I recorded vocals in my rental car in the hotel parking lot because I didn't want to get noise complaints. It was like guerrilla recording at its finest. And then one night, it happened. I was honestly lonely, I was homesick, I was sitting in my hotel room. I picked up that ugly bass and just started jamming on it. I didn't have any plan, I had no structure, it was just rhythm in my mind. And my fingers were just dancing across that fretboard like they had a mind of their own. It was really weird. And then, out of nowhere, this bass line just appeared. It was funky, it was catchy, hypnotic. It looped in my brain over and over, and I just couldn't let it go. I knew I had a drum stem on that thumb drive that would just fit perfectly. So I fired up my DAW. I dropped the drums in. I hit record, and within minutes, I had the heartbeat of this really cool song. That moment felt like lightning in a bottle, and I wasn't about to let it slip away. I grabbed that Craigslist guitar, layered in some accents, and then on that little 25-key synth, I built in an intro and even a little nylon string guitar solo in the middle, which kind of broke up the groove a bit. And piece by piece, the song took shape. It was funky and playful and just totally alive. And then came the twist. It's a little bit embarrassing for me to admit this. Honestly, I was playing Mario Kart earlier in that day, and out of nowhere when I was writing the song, this line just popped into my mind. I might have had too much coffee because it was 2 a.m. and I was wide awake and I was buzzing. And I also realized it had to have a Luigi accent. So there it was. I think I might have had too much coffee. I found an early text-to-speech AI tool. I typed the line in with an Italian accent and I dropped it into the track, and it was weird and random and it was perfect. 4 hours after I first picked up that bass, the song was done. I mixed it on the spot until like 2 a.m, a song that wasn't even supposed to exist, and yet somehow it did. At the time, I barely even knew how to use EQ or compression. I mean, plugins? Forget it. I was just fumbling around with all that stuff. But somehow the mix just worked. It was balanced, it was rich, like that bass had dragged the whole track into focus. I uploaded it to YouTube for my friends and family, and the reaction? It was great. It was overwhelming. I got texts and DMs, and everyone was telling me that it was something special. A couple years later, I revisited those Vegas hotel tracks, and I remastered them, and I released them as my first EP, which I called Like Water. The title? It's a tribute. It was based on Bruce Lee's famous words, "Empty your mind, be formless, be shapeless, like water." That's exactly how this song came to be. No plan, no structure, just flow. Out of a silent city in a lockdown, one spontaneous jam turned into Too Much Coffee, the song that would carry me further than I ever even imagined. So let me ask you this. What's the wildest story behind a song that you've ever written? Drop it in the comments because I really want to hear it. And if you loved hearing this story, gently hit that subscribe button. And remember, dream big and create boldly.